Alright guys, so what I did is I broke down these numbers one more time with my furniture example on how I determine, because I felt like it would be a little bit more relatable and a little less confusing if I broke it down with the furniture on how I determine a worst case scenario, a likely case scenario, and a best case scenario. So as I was saying before, overall the full retail MSRP is $33,500. Okay, $33,500 is full MSRP. Now we paid with logistics, the shipping, everything included. We paid 22%. So our overall cost was about $7,370. Okay, so that's what we're in the bucket for. Now, in the worst case scenario, I want us to at least get our money back. Worst case scenario. Now, as I was saying earlier, they're in the liquidation business. There is a defect potential. Some markets won't have that. This market does. And then there's the market potential of what do you sell, including between the damages, between the things that don't sell, what percentage of the overall MSRP do you sell? Now, in order to at least get our money back, we would have to sell at least 22% of MSRP. So we would have to generate at least $7,370 to get our money back and not take any losses and not get any gains. Okay? Now, ultimately, it doesn't really matter how, because everyone starts with 100%, right? You have the 100% of MSRP. It doesn't matter what percentage of the defect potential or what percentage of the market potential works or doesn't work, because ultimately it always comes down to what do you take away from the 100% and what's your bottom line. What is your bottom line of the MSRP that you make?
Wow.
So in this worst case scenario, I put a defect potential of 25%. Now let's say between losses and everything we sell 22%, that's $7,370. Now if this defect potential is wrong, let's say this defect potential was 50%, but out of the 50% left, we sold that at a rate of 44% of what was left of the 50. That would turn into an overall 22% of the MSRP. So like I was saying, it doesn't matter what mix it is, it just matters what your bottom line is, right? But you always want to take into consideration the defect and then your market potential in liquidation. So the likely case scenario that I have here to make $1,000, which is a decent profit, not as much as we would like to make, spending that much money, we like to make more. Considering we spent a lot less and made just as much, if not more. But let's say the likely case scenario is you have a defect potential of 20%, so that brings you down to 80 from the 100 of the MSRP. And then let's say you sell at an overall rate of 25%. So you paid 22 for the load and you had a 3% profit margin. So in order to get your money back and make that 3% profit, you sell at 25% of the MSRP. So that would bring you a total of $1,005 profit plus all of your money back. So it's a little over, it's around, $8,400 basically. Now in this best case scenario, which is still conservative, like all my case scenarios are, in this best case scenario, we make 10% profit margin. So we get our 22% back plus 10%, which equals, we have an overall percentage of 32% of the MSRP. Now that includes the defect potential of 10% and overall market potential selling at 32% of MSRP. So that all these case scenarios are very, very conservative, but they all seem to work in each one. So basically our asses are covered in case shit hits the fan. You never want to base your decision on what you buy something for. There's a quote that goes, you make your money when you buy it, right? And not when you sell it. You make it when you buy it, because if you buy it cheap enough, you'll always make money, right? you don't want to assume that you're going to get the best case scenario. You don't want to assume that, yep, I'm going to make at least 10% profit on this. So if I make at least 10% profit, that's at least $10,370, right? Approximately. That's at least $10,000 of revenue. So I could spend up to $9,000. So I'm going to buy this for $9,000, and I expect to make at least 10, right? Because this is the best case scenario. That's not a good strategy. You should buy based on the worst case scenario. If shit hits the fan, everything turns ugly, there's a huge pandemic like COVID, you at least get your money back, right? Or lose very little, $100 to $500, right? So you want to base it on that. You don't want to base it on the best case scenario. If you're real confident in your likely case scenario, you can base it on your likely case scenario. But I would base your buying decision on how much you pay for something at best on your likely case scenario. You never want to base it on your best case scenario, because a lot of times things don't work out for the best case scenario. If they do, great, fucking phenomenal, good job. But you can't always count on the best case scenario, no matter what you're selling or what you're doing. But this way, it basically covers your ass and makes sure that you make money, basically. And that's what we all want to do. So I hope this example helped. Thank you guys again for watching the channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you next time as soon as I get the liquidation load in. I'm super excited. Me and my homies are going to be here. We're going to be filming everything. Excuse me. We're going to be unpacking everything. Well, it's going to get shipped to our logistics center, where we're going to go and meet them, maybe there, and do a quick tour of the facility, and then we're going to go to the storage where they're going to drop off all the stuff. And hopefully we have enough room. We have a 10 by 30 foot storage. I'm hoping we don't have to get another one, or we can sell a few big items real quickly. That way we have enough space and we can just stick with one storage. But stay tuned. Thank you again for watching. Have a great fucking day.